Hi, welcome to Community Builders Show. My name's Nurse Phill and really grateful to have you all on board today. It's going to be a really cracking show and want to jump straight into it because I don't want to waste any time and introduce Chris. So I'll hand it over to Chris. So welcome, Chris. Just tell us a bit about yourself, buddy.
Thanks, Phil. Yeah, so I'm Chris and I run a CM Wellness studio in Sydney. And we work with all types of people with disabilities and mental health challenges. And we do everything from wellness to breath regulation to guiding people through counselling. And yeah, everything holistic. And yeah, our mission is to make wellness a standard to as many people as possible through simple, healthy habits.
Simple, healthy habits. That's a really good one, especially for working in the NDIS industry and you're strung from this post to that post. Managing those sort of things are quite tricky. So how did you get started in thinking about wellness, and what did you see as the problems that you could help solve?
So when I was probably maybe 12 years ago, I was a personal trainer just by trade to start with. And as our jobs, they're usually morning and night. And so I wanted to fill the day during work hours. And I was lucky enough to have one of my clients worked in the disability industry, and I ended up getting some work there when I was about 18. And from that opportunity, I got to work in day programs, group homes. I got to go to different disability services and just loved the industry. And through that experience, I saw there was like a gap, of a lot of people with disabilities or mental health challenges not having the basic needs met. And I was lucky enough to work with a few clients through personal training and just added some healthy habits along the way and seen huge transformations just by simple healthy habits. And from that, it's just kind of organically grown.
And what are some of the you said like the basic needs weren't met. I just want to take apart that a little bit because that's really interesting. Can you give us an example of like what you mean? Is it like they're not eating properly, not exercising? Is it what do you mean by their basic
everything from movement to nutrition, even like breathing? Just for example, like the first group I had, that was like a day program. They would all come in, they'd all kind of sit in their spots and either begin an iPad and do the things. So their posture was coming quite kyphotic, and then they were having like processed foods because that's all they knew, and it was just easy for support workers just to go, here you go, here's something easy to have, and behaviours started happening in those places. And once, they weren't even drinking water,
Really?
Yeah, so just coming in and just being
basic need of water, no water. They're not drinking it.
Water, and but then the next moment they're all having behaviours, or they're not coming in to do community access because they're sick and they're injured. And just by doing simple movement exercises, just getting some energy in the body through either chair yoga, walking, and some functional movements, and to giving them some water and just some mindfulness exercises, like their faces just lit up. And it was next level, and I just loved doing it. And from intellectual clients with disabilities to like very able clients, doesn't matter who they were, it was just adapting to what they were doing in that moment, and it just grew and got momentum. And managers started to see like the impact it was having on behaviours, mental health. And that's why I love doing what I do, because it's not complexing the need to give them hard exercises. It's just simple things over time. So then when they're in the community, they can actually enjoy things they like to do.
Yes. No. And like, what are some of the behaviours you saw turn around? What are some of the behaviours that like the care coordinators or the support workers were concerned with? And what did like changing their posture and getting them moving? What sort of changes did you see to their moods?
Energy. Number one, they had more energy. Right.
Yeah.
Instead of like when they had something that was organised for them, like they wanted to go bowling or they wanted to go to the park and do something together as a group, instead of the resistance going in as a group, there was more like, yep, let's go. Like, you know, they're excited, and they just, because a lot of them they couldn't articulate how they were feeling, you know, and, you know, just, I don't know if if you don't do the basics right, you're quite tired and you're lethargic, and you just kind of like, just don't want to do anything, you know, and you just get into that habit of, you know, sitting. And that was the number one thing, of just being able to move and energy. And just because they had that, they had more freedom to move better. And, you know, and some clients, for example, if they fell, they could get back up, you know.
Yes. So they really had really poor core strength and things when you first started. Like, was that a big issue?
Yeah, it's a huge issue. Like a lot of them were very kyphotic because I was sitting down a lot and they were just looking at pads
forward.
Yeah, and just being able to open them up through simple movements, you know, and just being able to show them how to breathe right as well. So which is helping them regulate their emotions. And they don't need to know all the science behind it, but it's how they start to feel, you know, and like the smiles and just the energy. And some of them all of a sudden go, oh, I didn't know Johnny could do this, you know, or it's showing more interest in this because he had more energy, he had more freedom in his body, he felt more regulated. And these were just from simple movements.
And is it a bit like you said there, like using Johnny as an example, was it like they were getting pain because they're not moving as well? Was pain an issue with them because they weren't moving around, and that stopped them having the freedom to do what they really wanted?
I think so, yeah, absolutely. Like, if the best way I can describe it is everything's linked. So if you're starting to breathe right and do the simple stretches that you need to do, drinking more water, all of a sudden your digestion changes. So the food that's going in, whether it's a packet of chips to an apple, right, or a bit of fruit, into some stretches, into some regulations, and have a glass of water, all of a sudden they're upright more, you know, because there's energy going through the body. And that was the huge difference, because they couldn't articulate how they were feeling.
Yes.
Just been opening them up, being able to move, and it just made such a difference. And you put that over like a period of 3 months, then it becomes a habit. And so that's what our mission is, to create those habits, and then obviously teach the managers and the support workers and the parents of, it's not complex. This is what your son or daughter needs in this moment. Make it a habit, and you're going to do more of what you want.
So speaking of habits, that's a really good question. So it's not like the 28-day thing to make a habit. You're saying it takes 3 months. Generally, you know how they say it takes 28 days to make a habit. So a bit of a myth, is it?
Yes and no. Generally, what you'll see over that 3-month period is it's ingrained in them. In the disability industry especially, they were so dysfunctional in a way that how they were moving and digesting foods, it needed a bit more time. And obviously routine is a big one for them as well. And just being able to work with the different ones. So if I was coming in just a couple of times a week, you know, what was happening when I wasn't there, you know? So then we created a wellness app. So we could actually give the specific exercises wellness, track their wellness as well. So what they're eating, what time they're going to bed. So just simple, in each pillar, just creating simple habits through that. And the 3 months kind of gave us that good indication of like, okay, this is working, this is not. And then this was the feedback from the parents.
Oh, so who speaking of the app, like it's a great integration. Who is in control? Because like you say, a lot of participants had mental health or intellectual disabilities and probably wouldn't be able to function the app. So who did you give the control to go, right, this will help your son or daughter or your participant to better manage their health and well-being? How did you go through that process with families?
I obviously have a consultation with each person, and are they independent or supported? And if they're supported, they've either got their support worker there, or manager or family member. And if they are supported, we work out what's working now, what's their goal? How do they, you know? So if they want to go more in the community, if they want to lose weight, what are they doing now? and where do they want to
Yes.
go. So then it's individualized to that person. So you work with the support worker on the app. Okay, so these are the basic things they need to do daily, and you make it fun, obviously. And
Yes.
from that, that's when they go, okay, great. And we encourage them to do it with them as well. So it became more of an exercise as well.
Like a partnership, make a partnership
Partnership.
out of,
Yeah.
make a partnership. Well done. That's really good. Yeah. And then so they'll track how they're going. Does in the app, did it show them a progress bar? Is there like
Yep. So
an
each
incentive bar
pillar
or?
got a movement, a mindfulness, nutrition, hydration, sleep, and they got like little stars. So from every Monday, it reset. So they had a week to get achieve little goals. So depending what they were, some like, wanted to eventually go to a gym and learn how to work independently. So we had
Yeah.
to learn the functional movements first in a way that worked for them. And so when they were ticking those things off weekly, you could then go to the next progression.
Yeah, right. So speaking of functional movements, because like you say, everyone is very different at what level they start with. How do you work that out? How do you go and work out what is the next level for someone? Because
It's a good
it's
question.
different for everyone. Like, and how do you go, oh, that's too far for this person, or we need another step in the middle? How does that all happen?
It's a great question. It's
I-
yeah, but it's like we have levels. So obviously, as humans, how we designed to move. So we're designed to squat. We're designed to push, pull, twist, lunge. So we base it on on that. So the easiest things from like, can they sit on a chair and stand up? Number one, can
yes.
they? You get a resistance rope. Can they pull in? So how tight are they? Like, is their thoracic spine and things like that? And from each movement, you create the program. So that's the functional, those 7 exercises, and how are they walking? Because sometimes it's so imbalanced on one side.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so we work on the imbalances to kind of balance the body out, and again, it's through simple little movements as well.
And so you're not. This sounds like it is a total lifestyle change for people.
Yeah.
It really is, because like if you can't walk properly, like I know working in emergency, we get so many people come in with everything from foot troubles, ankles, knees, hips, all the way up through to your neck and your head. And they even get migraines because of poor gait. We call it, gait when they're
Okay.
walking.
Yeah.
So you must have like a 12-month program or something set up for people to go, because it's
Yeah.
not something you can go 2 weeks, bang, we're good, we're walking properly, is it? It's not
No,
like, yeah,
not at
it's
all.
not like you're going to go, come and see Chris and he'll fix you in 2 weeks.
No,
It's
no.
going to take a longer time, isn't it?
A longer time, and it's just getting, we look at the mental side too, the confidence. Like, are they enjoying it? And
Yeah.
if clients tend to enjoy what they're doing, progress happens quicker.
Oh, right. Does it? Right.
Oh,
You
big
found
time.
that?
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
huge, and if it's because of the way they start to feel, we all
Yeah.
go on the feeling, if you're doing something, it's a grind, I don't want to do this, it's going to take a lot longer,
Yeah.
and it's, sometimes you set incentives for clients, so if they want to go to a certain place or eat a certain food or something like that, you create habits with their families.
Mm.
So then all of a sudden they're like, okay, I've got to work for myself to see how I feel internally, then I can have this, And I think the breathing was a big one for us too, because a lot of them were breathing the opposite. So when they were breathing in, their stomach was going in instead of expanding. So it's changing that, and the physiology in the body, what's happening to that, changes so much just with the way they eat food and digest, and the way they think as well.
All from breathing. It'll
All
affect your
breathing.
digestion and the way you think.
Yeah, like oxygen is your first source of fuel. So if you're
Yeah.
not breathing right, a lot of the time the body's not working right. And so that's where we start, it's like how you're breathing and just trying to really work on that. Number one, how you're moving, how's your walking, and then really focus on that, getting the progress, and then obviously like progressing from there.
And then, so that's really good. So does breathing help with their behaviors as well? So if
Yes.
you help them learn how to do proper breathing and like you say, not suck your tummy in as you breathe, like have your tummy go out and those sort of things. So are you seeing a change with people's behaviour when doing breathing work?
Huge change. Like
right.
You can just focus on that number one. And we also have meditations as well, which just gives them the time just to process and like just sit and be, because sometimes it's very difficult for them to express emotions the way they like what's coming up for them, and being able just to sit and feel into a meditation it's been massive as well. So yeah, so breath work is number one with that.
Yeah, right. So and can a support worker or a family member, like say we've got a behaviour happening, and we need to try and help them understand that it's a negative behaviour and need to come back. Is there breathing techniques that you teach them or teach the support worker that can go, okay, when your client is getting anxious or getting very sad or something like that, is there a way that they can do a breathing technique to bring it
on the app
sort it out?
Again, we've got like maybe 20 different breathing exercises.
Okay.
So again, it's just like finding out what they like, what they don't like, what's working, and we start with the basic one, so they can just follow it. So when we're not there, that's why the app's so good. We've got like a breathing tool, and they follow. Got a 4-6-8 breathing exercise, so they breathe out longer than they breathe in, so it's creating that calmness in the body as well. And once you get one or two of them working, and they start to really like a specific one, creating that routine with them, it's just it's magic. And that's why I love doing what I do, because you can just see the change.
It just comes across. So you mentioned routine a lot. How long does it take to get a routine with someone on average?
In this industry?
Yeah.
It's a tough one, because I could think of a handful of clients and say really quick, other handful it's like a bit longer. It's depending on how long they've been in their routine now, like what they're doing as well. Do they need a lot of support, or they're quite independent, and you can use, like, say someone's got autism, they generally love routine. So we find clients with autism, we just change one or two things early on, and they just make that a routine and then progress with them. And over time, that's their
that's their go-to.
It's their go-to, and it's a healthy change. Where support a client, sometimes it takes a bit more work, because if it's an intellectual client with disability, we just kind of stick to, like, we really talk to the parents and the support workers, like, okay, what's working, what that. We kind of maybe change the food a bit more as well, so just getting more energy into them as well. And by that, then we can start walking, moving, and breathing and stuff like that.
Yeah, so it is, like you say, there is a lot of levels, isn't there, to get someone moving and going. It's not as easy as like, all right, let's get up, do 10 star jumps, 10 push-ups, and away we go.
The program's easy, but our job, I guess, is to work out what they need to create the program that's going to work in term for them.
So every person needs an individualized program from you or your team.
Generally,
So it's nothing they could go to your app. Could they go to your app and start a program?
So if you're in Brisbane, right, and we're in Sydney, we could have a consultation over Zoom and create a program. We've done a lot of them and work with the families, and that works really well as well. And we can check in every few weeks.
And see how they're going and progressing. Brilliant. Oh, that's really good work. And what do you see yourself doing? What do you see yourself doing with this space? Are you going to branch out of Sydney? Are you looking at coming up north to Brisbane or down to Melbourne?
I would love to. My role now is I'm lucky enough that it's organically grown over the last 10, 12 years. And we've got really solid systems in place. We've got great trainers here in Sydney. And now my job is to bring awareness to it, like today, and and show you, no matter where you are, like we can help. We can create simple programs for you so you can start living the life you want. So that's my job. I just want to, I'm really passionate about getting this message out and yeah, just showing you that it can work.
That's really good advice. And I love how that you fact that you can do it to pretty much anybody. Like there's no one. Is there any group of people you've gone or type of person that you're going, no, this isn't for you? Is there anyone? Because there's a lot of people go to exercise things and go, oh no, that's not for me.
90%
see
of
that?
clients, it's pretty good. It's that 10% of that real behavior or, real high needs that needs a lot more work, that sometimes it can be a bit tricky to get that going. So 90% of clients is pretty good.
Pretty good. Yeah, okay. So everyone should really come have a try and see
Try,
how it works out. And not just like one or two. It's like it sounds like you need 3 months, don't you? You need at least 3 months to see how it's rolling. Is
just to reiterate, it's
yes,
it's fun. We make this fun. It's not like a serious program. It's a lifestyle program, and we come from a holistic way. Our job when we work with clients isn't to go, this is the science, this is the way you need to do it. It's to have fun with the exercise, encourage them and say, well done on that. God, you're good at this, and be honest with where they're at and just give them that hope. Because our core values are health, hope, help, and happiness. And if we're going by those 4 values, I can't see why these programs don't work. And that's why I'm super passionate about it.
Yeah, that's brilliant stuff. And what about, like you're saying with health, what are some of the health benefits that people receive doing this, like with blood pressure, heart rate, breathing, skin, all those sort of things? Because they're the big issues a lot of people have is they do the community access and that well, but their actual self-help and their health in their own bodies seems to get neglected, and it gets referred onto a hospital when you've got a problem. But we don't need to go to hospital for this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, so how does the health side of it, of component of what you're doing, help people stay out of hospital, keep healthy? What sort of things do you do in that space?
Just the energy, the way they feel, and probably what we see in the last, especially year in particular, especially with independent clients, is the self-confidence and the independence that comes from it. So when they start to move better, they start to feel better within themselves. They've got this confidence. And so when they're in the community, whether they're starting a new job, whether they're just, they have an injury, or they know what they need to do, and they're not reliant on so much support, and they know that it's like, if they are feeling a bit down, or they've got the tools now to use that works for them because of the way they feel, so that independence is probably number one key that comes from it.
Independence. And that gives you, because you feel responsible for yourself, and that makes you feel better in yourself because you're not relying on other people, are you?
Yeah,
that's one of the biggest problems.
We help people get jobs, like, just because now they feel better.
So people have got, you've got clients that have gone from sitting on an iPad to working.
I reckon at least 20 to 30 clients that I've been a referee for, or been a reference for, people have called me, and I just go, this is their attitude, this is what they do, this is the consistency, they turn up on time, and this is where they're at. So I can highly recommend them.
Yeah, wow, that is brilliant news. So
comes the community, and
it is a community. And going, hey, you can be. There's nothing like earning your own income, is there, and doing your own thing, because and when that's taken away from you and told you've got to go sit in the corner and watch an iPad, well, you don't have hope for anything, do you?
100%. And the hope is one of our values, and the parents, especially, like for us, I say to my business partner as well, like, it's our biggest joy when we hear from the parents going, like, it's thank you for, like, just giving them the tools. Like, they're just a different person now, and we've got so many testimonials that, like, we just love to share from that, and being them out in the community, having confidence when they never thought they could get there, but they did it themselves. Our job's it's not about us, it's about giving them the tools that they can use And like, we just love hearing it from the parents. Like from day one when they come in, they're like pulling their hair out, going, I can't see. We just want them to be healthier. Next thing, they're having a job. Next thing, they've got a girlfriend or a boyfriend. And, you know,
Oh,
they've got,
wow. Yes.
yeah, they've got the ability just to feel better within themselves, or from simple, healthy habits.
Brilliant message. Brilliant message. How can, is there anything else that you wanted to bring up that can help people out there? Because it's been a great chat with you. Is there anything before?
Yeah. I appreciate that, Phil. I guess for me now, I'd love to just spread the message out. We do wellness workshops to a lot of support workers and teams and managers or families, that we can help the families with the tools and tips as well. And just being able, we got like journals that we can give, apps, you know. You don't have to be in Sydney to come see us. Like we can come to you and just show you how it works. So I think my message is like if no matter who you are, let us come out and we can show you like how simple wellness can be, so you can live a healthier life. Really make it a standard.
It should be a standard, and exactly right. And there'd be a lot of because a lot of NDIS service providers listen to the show too, so it'd be good for their staff too, because like working as support workers, like you got split shifts in a day. You know, you could do a early shift, late shift, and then an awake night shift, have a couple of hours off, go back to work. So your sleep routine, you don't have one. You know what I mean? You don't have regular days. So this would really work well for service providers to go, hey guys, you know, let's track it, let's get the app, let's track how we're going, and
just
see what we do.
With support workers, I love the idea of they're out and about in the community and the client feels a bit anxious, you know, grabbing their phone out, putting a breathing app on or a meditation, the difference that can make in 5 minutes can help the whole day.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. 5 minutes. Yeah, that is true, because it can change so much. Just getting their mindset in the right spot can change so much of what happens.
And the meditations are great. And don't worry, it's not my voice; it's my business partner's voice. She's much calmer than I am.
I know that feeling. Now, how can people reach you or reach your app? Can tell us how we can get hold of you?
Oh, we've got Instagram on CM Wellness Co. Or my email is chris@cmwellnessco.com.au, or just contact me, give me a call, and we can go from there.
That's brilliant. I'll put it now, everyone. I'll put that in the show notes below. So just have a click through the description, and we'll put a link to Chris's website. So and then you can call him and catch up with him there, which will be fantastic. So amazing. So this what you're providing people, Chris, is what is needed. You know, there's no drugs involved. You know what I mean? It's not arduous. It's not boring. It's fun to do. Look, you're getting people from off an iPad to you know, living their best life. Like that's a big change.
Yeah.
And getting the community support with it, and getting people back into the community with work. So really hats off to you and your team, mate. It's
we have a really good
effort.
team. Yeah, we're really grateful with our team and just the consistency that they do. Simple Wellness.
That's brilliant. Well, have a great day, and we really appreciate your time today, coming on and talking to Community Builders Show, and look forward to seeing you in the future. And we'll be following you and your Instagram page, and making sure that we keep up to date and see how we go. And when you're out there, people, get onto Chris's page, have a look at it, and really it does change. And like Chris says, it's the different levels. He'll assess and do all that stuff for you, so you can get in and do it. All you have to do is contact Chris. That's probably is that probably the hardest step?
It
Just
really
contact him. Yes, just give him a call. Because
I'll be nice, I promise.
Yeah, that's right. But that's what it will really, it does change your life. And working in emergency, I don't want to see anyone in there anymore, but we got it there. But if you can get yourself healthier, it really makes your life a lot more comfortable, and you can actually do so much more. And this is a great way to do it. So thank you again, mate. Really
And
appreciate it.
Thank you for the awareness and taking the time to do this and putting this message out there, which is so needed. Really appreciate that, Phil.
No troubles, mate, anytime. And thank you to everyone who's been watching Community Builders Show. My name's Nurse Phill, and look forward to seeing you. So if you like something, leave a comment for us and subscribe to our YouTube page. That would be fantastic. And jump over to Chris and follow him on socials too. Give him some love. So thank you, everyone. Have a great day. And remember, we wish you great health. Take care.
Peace.